YouTube? It's your girl, Eastside Maryjane. And I know it's been so long since I came out with another video, as always. But this time, I think it's the time for Eastside Maryjane, okay? So, as you can see, I changed my name a little bit, Tells Her Truth, because as I've been looking at YouTube over the past years, there has been a mood to the whole tone of YouTube. And I'm not going to say it was a consistent mood, but the idea of people being angry, upset, and real about it when they are not like fighting or whatever, you know, doing some drama, is like out the window. You rarely see real videos of real emotions unless it's anger, violence, or some shit like that. And excuse me, I have to work on cursing because I know that's another violation for YouTube to not want to show your videos. But today I'm going to try to wrap everything up in a short, maybe not short, but in a short, maybe not short. I'm trying to wrap everything up and get everything across that I need to say in this time, okay? So, number 2 is that on this channel, I don't want to really get caught up on labels, okay? When it comes to like labeling things and really defining them with that label, I don't want to get caught up on that too much, because I really feel like that is the reason why we all are stuck in a certain place. So when I say that I have a testimony and I'm coming back with testimonies, you know, I don't want you to think that I'm all religious and I'm about to get religious and all of these things. I'm just coming as my clean self. You know, I'm going to use words that you can relate to so you can understand what I mean. But don't hold me to any type of category or anything like that, okay? I'm just a being that's here to live my life. Okay, so this first YouTube video in the testimony series is going to be about why you should never settle for any partner. You should never settle, okay? You should never settle. Now, this is not your fault. A lot of these things that we fall for in life is not your fault. It's simply the way we have been raised. Everyone was raised to listen to their parents, who listen to their parents, who listen to their parents, who listen to their parents, and so on and so forth. We never really got a choice. But if parents understood who they were in the beginning, then they would have a better chance at leading you to success and not getting caught up in the cycle. Parents are your guides. They are your physical guides when you come here on earth, and all they are supposed to do is guide you until you are an adult and able to make your own choices. While they are raising you and guiding you in life, they are supposed to teach you right from wrong. All of the important things about life and how to get around. And they are also supposed to teach you about themselves. Now, the thing about it is, families, like back in my day when I grew up, they was way more like prioritized, tight niche. Like I remember like when I was in school, we all had to make family crests and, you know, talk about how our family ID'd with each other, and everyone just took so much pride on their last names. And I feel like in more traditional families and families who know where they come from, they still probably practice these things. But here, where we are in Baltimore, they ain't practicing none of that. I know in black families, I can't speak for them all, but we have lost our identities way back. Like way back. So even now, when you try to search for your identity, they make it so hard to find out who you are, to trace it. Like if you go through Ancestry.com, 23andMe, like your ancestors literally have to have a 23andMe account. So how the hell am I going to trace back to these centuries ago? It's just not going to work. So if your parents do not teach you who you are coming into this world as being called who they gave, the name that they gave you, and you are trying to figure yourself out, but you get washed along the way and bobbed and weaved, and some people never find themselves. So the things that you need to have in this life in order to even make decisions moving forward is confidence. If you don't have the confidence to make decisions, you will not make them. And in order to have that confidence, you have to know who you are. So self-discovery, finding out who you are, finding out what your purpose is here for, because it's not to buy bundles and to eat all you can and to shop on Amazon and to make somebody else's life miserable and to go and gossip here. All of those things are problems that have existed because we don't have anything to do and no one's living out their higher life purposes. They are living out their lower life purposes that give them short pleasures, short bursts of pleasures. Even the relationships that they are in, that they settle in, which brings me back to the topic of this video. Never settle for any relationship. And I'm talking about our love relationships, but even within that sentence, I mean any relationship, any friendship, any association, any coworker, like any relationship that does not fulfill you. Some people's very existence overshadows or goes against the very reason why you are here, your very life's purpose. And some people never really pay that any mind. You know, they wonder why things don't balance out. There's no balance because this person is here to live out a karmatic life or to do dirty things, and you're here to try to heal people. Okay, and when you will attract these types of people. This is your indication to be like, hey, I know who I am. This person doesn't know who they are. I can't heal you. You know, I have a higher calling. So when you settle for people that are not on your life's path, you will get distracted. You will get bombarded into other things that you probably never even imagined could come into your life. Now, why I said you have to have confidence is because people, even your parents, will try to live through you. They will want you to be in that toxic relationship. They will want you to continue on because somehow they benefit. Somehow it makes them look good. Somehow, you know, they are getting an advantage in your relationship. But the relationship is not for them. People can't live vicariously. They can't live through you. They have their own life's journey, and you cannot hold the weight of other people. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? So if something don't feel right in a relationship, you should not settle for that. I don't know who told you had to. I don't know who told you getting up and walking away was so hard. I don't know who told you that was the only person that could make you feel like that on this earth. We are living on earth in an abundance of people, resources, animals, like anything you want. There's an abundance of it. Some of it is even untapped and not even found yet. And you mean to tell me that you are willing to shack up, grow wrinkles, gain weight, get health conditions, get gray hair over this one person that you feel tied to? And maybe you are now tied to that person. Maybe you're spiritually tied to that person. Maybe you're emotionally tied to that person. Maybe you have children. But you need to be able to be the example to show even your children that you can create your own life. Okay? You can create that. Are you wondering how people look so happy? It's not fake. It's not fake. They've made decisions in their life to take control of it. That's what they did. They've closed their ears on the things that did not fit the path that they were going in, and they started making decisions that made fulfillment to their own self. Okay? Now, once you understand that you are not here to please anyone else, you are not here. But hold up. Maybe you are, but you have to find out what the higher extent of that is. Maybe you're here to be a doctor. Maybe you're here to be some type of healer. Maybe you're here to help deconstruct some type of structure, some type of hierarchy, some type of facility, and rebuild it back up. Everything is not peaceful, and everything does not look the same for everybody. So when someone speaks in your lane, make sure it aligns with it. Some people are speaking on things that they don't even align with, or would not don't even know what the course of action it takes to get there, but they are curious. And that's when you are supposed to ask questions and not really fully assume, or not really feel like you can suggest things in other people's lane, which is why you should not settle for any relationships. Okay, now when you find out that you have the power to create your life and to start over and over again. Now listen to what I said. You have the power. You have the power. Because remember what we do. We don't take control of our power. We allow life to throw things at us. We allow life to happen, and that is what causes us to move, shift. Like this. Okay, for instance, I don't make YouTube videos much, but every time I make a video, I have someone that is willing to disturb me that normally don't. Like this boy never says shit to me, but as soon as I'm doing something, here he goes calling my name and all of these things. So that's a distraction. You'll have those types of things happen in your life as well when you are trying to accomplish things. Right, y'all. So everything kind of got disturbed. It's a new part of the day. I don't have as much privacy going, but I still want to get this. I still want to get this message out to y'all. So we're about to walk to the store. I'm going to get this message out to y'all as I walk into the store. So this part of the message is going to be what I call my testimony. Now, what I know about testimonies is that you have had to been through something in order to tell that story. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm about to share with y'all is definitely a freaking testimony, because I've been through the mud. I've been through the mud, okay? So I'm going to let y'all know why, even with going through the mud, like, you can still drop the ball and start over, okay? All right, I'm back. All right, I'm back. I feel like I do way better on camera when it's close up and I'm holding it than it is far away. I don't know why. That's weird, ain't it? All right, so hold up. That's scary. All right, y'all. So y'all ready for this walk? We going to do a walk because it's a lot of things in my life has changed. And yeah, I'm ready to give y'all my testimony. Even though I'm still going through some of the stuff, I just feel like I'm coming out on top. I'm not falling on my back. I'm not on my knees unless I'm praying. But, I'm able to navigate through the storm standing upright. And I'm by myself doing it. And it's by choice. I don't literally have to be. And in fact, I think the last mishap, the major thing that happened in my life, it just seemed like when I'm about to get the messages out, it's everything in its power is like trying to stop me. Like this a new phone and all of a sudden my battery got low. Or not the battery, but the storage. So that's another thing. When you are doing something good, and it's almost like, you walking through the world, the forces are going to be coming back on you, testing this invisible thing we have called faith. So if you have none, then you will not be able to stand up in a lot of different situations. And I don't mean by cheating, because a lot of people get by cheating. You cannot cheat. Have you ever been on your knees? Have you ever been, like crying down, almost feeling like you want to kill yourself, like you lost everything? A lot of people, they might go through a little discomfort in their life, but trust and believe they're going to find an easy solution to fix it. And that's not what a testimony is. So we're about to walk a path through my dark life. Now, last time, I believe I shared the video on YouTube, and this was probably like 2017, 2018. And I had made a lot of bad choices. And at the time, it had wound up putting me and my children's life in jeopardy because we had lost our house. If you want to go back and look at that video, I was dead homeless, and I was on YouTube. I didn't know what else to do. I thought coming to YouTube would be the answer. Maybe I could find a quick fix. Maybe, I would see somebody that I could relate to, but there was no one. That avenue still not open yet. That's why I'm here. Okay? So after I was homeless for about a year, and boy, oh boy, I can go back to that and tell you about that year. That year was preparing me for things to come. I mean, I was involved with a lot of shit, a lot of different personalities, a lot of different tests. And every time I was tested, man, I dipped. I rolled the fuck out. You wasn't about to have me or strung out somewhere on drugs or whatever. I mean, it was a lot of different situations that I was in with people that I thought I could trust or people that seemed like they would be in my corner. No, they was tests, but it happened all year long. The last test was, once I started to get back on my feet around November, I was doing Lyft, the whole time. And I was still in a low, vulnerable place. I wasn't talking to my family. My son was still gone. I had my daughter. No, actually, at that time, I wound up just getting my son back from my mom's house, and we hotel hopping together, me and my children. And he wound up getting some money. Like I was pushing him to get a job and all of these things. And he wound up getting the money, going behind my back instead of doing the right things, got himself almost killed. Like he got jumped to the point where they almost killed his ass. So that's another story. And this was all the while I was homeless and trying to get things back together. So I had many, and still do have many opposing forces to me trying to do the right thing. So anyway, while I was doing Lyft, I wound up meeting this guy doing Lyft. Now, when you homeless, first of all, who don't want to meet a guy that seem like they talking the shit that you want to hear? You know what I'm saying? So the whole time he got into my Lyft truck, and I'm talking and telling him about my life, what I'm going through, how I don't have anybody. It's just me. I'm not really talking to my family and all of these things. So one of the first and last things he said before he got out the car was that, well, I guess you're going to be my wife. And to me, I'm like, what? That's all I needed to hear. It just seemed like a blessing from God, right? And when I tell you I met this man in November, we was moved in a house by December, and he was trying to marry me by February. It was just like that, okay? Just like that. And to anybody else, it would have been a fantasy, a dream come true. But to me, it seemed like that in the beginning until I started to waking up. See, every time you go through something traumatic in your life, it severs you from reality, and it can cause you to fall into the lap of an opportunist. You know what I'm saying? And even though it seems like what could be a wonderful opportunity, a promised future, and a change from your rock bottom position, trust and believe that it could be a setup as well. So luckily COVID hit, and I feel like, in between COVID, it caused me to be able to relax a lot. I was able to sit home, heal, and I realized that from being homeless to being in a homeless shelter around a bunch of different adults, women with children, and they was petty as fuck. Like, I just needed peace, and I never got that. And I went straight into a relationship, sharing a room, sharing a bed, and I needed my healing time. I needed it. I realized that the person that I jumped in a relationship with so fast had a lot of different characteristics that annoyed the fuck out of me. And, in the beginning, it seemed like I could laugh through it all, but then, it became really annoying, and I was aggravated, and it played out like in a way that I treated him. And I did not like that. I'm not a person that gets off on treating a person like hot oatmeal-ish every day. Like, I'm not Mrs. Trunchbull from Matilda. I don't want to have a bunch of slaves or men that I feel like are underneath me, and I just treat them and talk to them anyway. I want someone that I can speak life into, and he reciprocates that, and he gives it back to me, and I can reciprocate it. Like, we basically each other lung. There should be no way in hell that you get off or you feel good about talking shit to somebody every day, having to fucking say bad words and call them out their name and all of that. Like, it just made me feel so incomplete, so wicked. And I had to pray a lot while I was doing it. Like, why am I having these feelings? Why am I having these distasteful, unpleasant feelings about this guy that I was so quick to jump into a relationship with? And he was so willing to help me. And I had to reevaluate everything. And once I reevaluated things, I found out that both of us were kind of like opportunists at the time, And maybe the relationship we was in was not supposed to take off, but it was just supposed to help catapult both of us to another part of our lives. And so we should just appreciate the time we had together. But I don't really feel like he could understand that. So, like I said, we both was like opportunists. And by me being in my situation of having an impoverished mind, I feel like he was in a position to take advantage of me, like, truly. So, number one, he needed citizenship. He needed to be here, and he wanted to make it seem like he fell in love with me in that short amount of time. Now, when I was going through the COVID, getting that extra sleep, that extra beauty sleep actually healed my brain, repaired my body, repaired my mind. And I started to have thoughts like, could he love me this quick? I mean, we both had things that we did not like about each other. But for sure, I felt like I didn't even know him like that. I mean, I've had deeper connecting conversations with cashiers at the grocery stores than I have had with him, even in the repair of our 1-year relationship. Like, there was a time we wanted to repair, it was just the discontent, and I was bored. Like, I felt like we connected at first, but then it was a power struggle. I hate being with someone that I feel like I'm in competition with. Well, that's in competition with me. I feel like your man should be your support system. Your man should actually help to propel you into your dreams, and he was helping other women to be successful and to, fulfill their dreams. And he would come home and tell me every day. And I was, in the beginning, supportive of him, the women, like building his company. But I realized that I was taking a back seat. And that's not what I've ever been, a backseat person, regardless if I'm by myself. I was always driving. I always had my own dreams. And it just seemed like we was reaching for his dreams and pushing mine to the back, when really we could have been helping each other, pull each other's dreams up. And I just felt like, and also it was like a lack of interest. Like, we would start a project, but I would have to do so much of the work that I'm like, is this a team project, or is it just me doing these things so that you can have a platform to appear on? I started feeling like I was not in a position that I wanted to be in a relationship. So going further, having a child by this person, or marrying this person, I would never have my light. I felt like I was being set up. So, I made a choice that I did not want to marry this person. And if I did, it would have to be under a deal's terms. Like, it was just no way in hell that I believed that this person was this in love with me, and that once we got married, I would benefit just as much as he would benefit once the deal was sealed. He knew what he was going to get once he married me. I didn't know shit. And he just kept telling me, trust me, trust me. That's not enough for me. And I don't care what you're doing now before I'm giving you what you want. You have to tell me and let me know. Not even tell me. You have to show me that I'm going to be straight if I marry you. And it was something that he was not willing to do. And that let me know I was about to be in a trap. I was about to be in a trap. Now, when I tell you my life changed, it propelled in 1 year. Like, I went from being homeless, having to work extra super hard, to splitting my bills, being catered to. I went from 1 car to 3 vehicles. I was engaged. The family I could see it, but something deep down in the pit of my soul was just saying that I was being set up. Don't do it. And it may have not been the worst situation if I would have done it, but I guarantee you, I would have never been able to have the freedom, the decisions, the choices that I have now. So I prayed about it. I prayed and I prayed and I prayed. Even when we would have these heated arguments, I would pray to God that if this relationship is not for me, please exit me out of this relationship into a better situation. There would be times when I was sitting in my living room. I knew that this house, this situation, is just like a pedestal for me to get up to another position. Up, okay? Because that wasn't bad. That lifestyle wasn't bad, but that's for somebody that's seeking mediocreness or seeking just the look of things. That is not real, it's not authentic. And I like authenticity. So I knew that was not my situation. That was not my husband. That was not my partner, my lifelong partner that I was supposed to be with. Regardless of what we have, what's in front of me, what I'll have to lose if I leave the situation, I just knew that it was not for me. Now, like I said, I prayed about it. And lo and behold, by the end of we was in this house for 1 year. By the next summer, the landlord was telling us that we had to move and gave us 2 months to move. out of that house. And I felt like that was God's way of breaking us up, because if love was there, if trust was there, if he was mine, then we would be together now. He had somewhere else to go, and I went back to my mom's house, and he just faded off the black to the point where I don't even know where he is. I'm not a chaser. Last time I seen him was 4th of July. I blocked him after that. He left me stuck with bills, knowing my situation. And I just bossed up to this and rose to the occasion. And I feel like with me bossing up, that's also growing those muscles for me to have, I need those muscles to be a boss. So I need to know what it feels like to bring in X amount of money on bills. I plan on being wealthy, right? So I'm like, okay, that's my frame of mind. And lo and behold, gone. So if he was for me, if he had, all of those things, he loved me, all of that, we would still be together. But God answered my question and gave me that confirmation that I needed. So when you are in any situation, just as a person, period, if you don't have faith and spirituality, I don't care what it is, what kind of spirituality it is, something that taps you in to the source, I'm telling you, you're going to lose it. You're going to lose it, because a lot of things you cannot see behind the scenes. Now, here I am, after a year being engaged, going on trips, doing this, doing that, and I'm by myself again. This is when the people around you, like your family, your friends, they supposed to help support you. This is when the times when they supposed to be like, you know what, you can come stay with me so you can get back on your feet, or I'm so sorry this happened. But you know what? When you have the wrong people on your side, they're going to rock with the person you separated from more than you. And that's what wound up happening. I feel like it's my relationship, my choice. I know what feelings I have about it. I know what goes on behind closed doors. As much as you may want to ask and be in the mix of my life and my relationship, talking to the third parties, the other outside parties, that was mixed in, because there was a lot of people mixed in my relationship as well, which I feel like a strong enough man won't even have that. They'll set that bar straight. And I have not met that strong man yet. But a lot of the people felt like I should have stayed in the situation that I was in. It was money, it was this, it was that. They probably feel like I was stupid. That's the best that I'll ever get. That's because that's the best that they probably ever saw. That's because that's the best that they probably could ever get. You know what I'm saying? I know that I could get better. I've had somebody ask me like, so what if he get with somebody else? And what if she pretty? Okay, and there's more guys out here that's handsome and better, like, and with more money or whatever. Like, that's just, I know that I can have better. I just know I can. I know that better is there for me. So guess what? I am going to have that fulfillment that I'm looking for, because I did not settle. When you settle, that's when you get all the things you're not looking for. And that's what so many people are used to doing, settling. You would never know what the world has to offer you. And then when people settle, not only that, they wind up having children. This is a trend. They wind up having children by people that they don't even like the next year. That is a trend. And I'm not even going to say that I'm not a statistic of that. I have one child that came from that type of energy. But I love my child to death, and I'm fighting to the end to be the example that is going to break the chains that has held my family down. And my children, regardless of what they look like now, will be the product of broken chains And they will provide the fruit to this family that needs to fill a bowl up to make a harvest. Because right now, there isn't that. And I strive regardless of what it looks like. I know my vision, I know my goals, and I know my focus. And I'm telling you this tonight and earlier today because if you are going through a situation where you feel like you have to settle, I'm here to tell you as a walking example that you do not. Walk strong, walk tall, and actually I'm going to walk down some more so I can finish my message to you guys. Walk strong, walk tall, and do not worry about what the next person wants you to do. It's your life. Never settle for any relationship with anybody. I don't care if it's your child, your parent, your lover. I don't care if it's your pastor. If it's unhealthy and toxic, and if it does not sit well with you, if it does not add life into you, walk away. One door closed means another one will open. And I want you to know what it feels like to be around wholesome people that will give you life instead of toxic vultures. I mean, energy vampires that's going to drain you every step that they can. Every step that they freaking can. Okay? So, I want to go ahead and end on that note and let you know that this testimony here is not going to stop because I'm still in the middle of it, but I felt the need to be able to open up, share my story, because I feel like I'm coming out of a dark place that no one knew I was in. They just saw my absence, and now I'm ready to help the people that want to be inspired, that can put their ego to the side, that can actually be like, you know what? She's really talking some real shit. And, you know, get out there. I don't know what I was about to say. Get out there. That's like some other shit. That's like on some about to play football. No, we ain't about to do that. I think like when it's time to end the video is like when I start saying all that crazy stuff. So yeah, I just want to inspire you guys, let you know. Hold up. Yo, when you making videos, people be so nosy. I just want to inspire you guys and let you know that you do not have to stick in any relationships that are not healthy for you. Never settle for them. You can have what you want. You can have happiness. You can have the love of your life. Just never stop looking and don't settle. Oh yeah, one little gem I wanted to drop. I was working at, let me say this before I leave. I was working at Home Depot and I was in the gardening section, as like the cashier, right? So this older couple had came into the gardening section and they was like asking me questions, and I'm going to try to remember this as it happened. So I think one of them, I don't know if I was going through dating issues or maybe, I don't know how it got brought up, but the older man told me that I should date as much as I can. Now, let me add a little caption to that. Subtitles. Just because you dating does not mean you have to have sex. Trust and believe you do not have to have sex. I promise you, you do not. Because I swear to gosh, that is when the babies come. Like, you fuck around, know this person for 5 days, give it up raw, and now you're pregnant, and then you hate them the next year. Like, that is fucking ridiculous. You don't have to have sex with this person, okay? And I feel like that's another video for me to go in. Thank you. That's another video for me to kind of tap into, the sexual part. But as far as dating, you should date as many personalities. And that's one thing that I did when I was a kid. I dated a lot. I flirted, I had my share, but no one ever told me that. When you grow up around where you from, like where I'm from, back then they called you a freak, a hoe. I don't know, now you probably like a thought and all these things. Thotty on. But apparently in Italy, or if you have Italian grandparents, they think that what you're doing is pretty on the right track of where you should be going in order to get a husband or a marriage. That lasts. Oh yeah, so that's what it was. I was asking them about the longevity of their marriage, like how was they able to stay together for so long? And he told me, like, you need to date around as much as you can, and so you'll know what you like, and then bam, go ahead, meet your match, and you're going to love that because you're going to be burnt out and sick of shit you don't like, and you've been through everything to find out what you do like. So you pick one, the best, and then you stick with that. And I feel like that's a win-win situation. Okay? If you ever wanted to know, you see y'all see the motherships in the back as I'm filming, they like showing off and shit. But what I was about to say, if you want to know how the world should be, how I feel like, because they give us clues on like TV shows and movies. Go look at Black Mirror on Netflix. I think it's episode 1. The one is like the dating one. It's like episode 1 or 3, where they have these little devices and they gotta go dating and all this and that. Yeah. Oh my God. That is how life should be. But anyway, I am about to be out. I think that I've shared my testimony, and hopefully this came around. It came off where you guys got it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then if not, then I guess you gotta wait till I warm up to YouTube. I know the message was good. But if not, y'all ain't get it like the way y'all should have. Make sure y'all check out other videos of mine. I mean future ones. Because these gonna be the ones about my testimony and how far I've came. Alright? So again, never settle for no one's bullshit. Alright guys? I love you. Have a good night.